Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Sandy VCAL PD presents the Sports Corner Podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the 2Sweet podcast, and today we're going through some news, reviews, and rumors. Now, a lot of wrestling hasn't been big this week. You know, we haven't got a pay-per-view. We've watched Raw, we watched SmackDown, I even watched 205 Live, but yeah, I'll be going through 205 Live for the first time on this podcast. But first, we're going to be going over some rumors. Okay, so on their Elite Audio show, PW Insiders says two WWE sources told them there are no plans for a tag team Money in the Bank ladder match, with the New Day winning their tag team match this past week on SmackDown. Pretty much looked like that. Also, according to BW Insider, Big E is being considered for a singles push, and the men's Money in the Bank ladder match may be the best start of that. Could we see a New Day breakup? I don't know. Time will tell. Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal is advertised on Raw house shows through July, and their program might last until Roman's SummerSlam feud begins. Do we even care about this feud? Do we even care about Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal? No, we don't. Alexa Bliss wrestled on the first show of WWE's United Kingdom tour on Wednesday, so it appears her injury either wasn't serious or was just storyline. You know that Alexa Bliss is good with faking injuries. You know, she was double jointed. It's a bit scary, but it's really good. On Wrestling Observer Live, it was said plans call for Daniel Bryan to stick with WWE beyond his current contract. So we know that he'll be leaving somewhere between September and November. So we don't know what WWE is going to be doing with Daniel Bryan until then. The Wrestling Observer newsletter is saying that there's been some talk on an AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura last man standing match. More expecting a ladder match for Money in the Bank, but with last man standing, you know, with the events correlating from back trash, it looks more like it. Per the Observer, Charlotte's rupture implant actually happened before WrestleMania, and she elected to hold off on her surgery so she could work all the ways through the European tour, then get the surgery and be back in time for SummerSlam. She'll likely be out for a number of weeks once she does get the surgery. So we might see Charlotte after SummerSlam. We don't know. PW Insider notes there will be a huge WWE tie-in at the NBC upfront, with a wrestling ring apparently being a part of the stage of the show. It's unclear if this is indicative of a new TV deal. We know how WWE likes to cooperate with NBC, but we don't really care about it on this podcast. The Observer is saying that there is a belief in the UK that Tony Storm has signed a deal with WWE. If you don't know what Tony Storm is, go check out Tony Storm himself. That guy is great. According to the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, apparently something in the deal for WWE to run MCG in Melbourne, Australia, hit a snag. But it's unclear what it is or if it can be fixed. There's lots of word going around with WWE working with the MCG. Are they going to have the Global Wrestling Tour? Or Global Warming Tour? I don't know. But again, time will tell. Per PW Insider, Dean Ambrose has been pretty much living full-time in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where he's been doing rehabilitation for his triceps. We don't know when Dean Ambrose is going to come back. Hopefully somewhere around SummerSlam season. With CM Punk doing a meet and greet during All In this in weekends for Pro Wrestling Tees, there is, of course, increased speculation that he'll be involved with the actual Bullet Club All-In event on September the 1st. As of now, that does not appear to be in the plans. So we know that CM Punk's going to be fighting in the UFC, but with him appearing at Bullet Club's All-In event, we don't know if that's going to be the case. On Nikki Bella's Instagram, she said that she's planning a iconic return. That is basically saying that she could be aligned with the Iconics. The Observer notes that Neville has moved back to the UK and his contract with the WWE is being frozen, much like Daniel Bryan's was. The two sides do not appear close to working out their issues. We still don't know what the story is with Neville working with WWE still. He's been out for more than a year, man. He's been out for more than a year. Enzo is gone. Bring him back. Vince McMahon wasn't bothered by fans leaving during and immediately after the main event of Back Trash, according to WrestlingNews.co. The site's source says McMahon expected Reigns to be unpopular in the New York, New Jersey market and attributed the exits to the show running late. What else were you expecting? Backlash sucked. The main event sucked. Roman Reigns sucked. Samoa Joe bashed Roman Reigns to the ground. Like, seriously, you could have had Samoa Joe winning the match. On their elite audio show, PW Insider reported Daniel Bryan has not signed a new contract with WWE and could be leaving in September. The site expects he will stay with WWE, however. Again, we don't know what the story is with Daniel Bryan at WWE. WWE's been misusing Daniel Bryan. And, I think Daniel Bryan could be getting his ticket out of there. Nia Jax missed Raw's house show this past weekend. She flew to New York to take part in the NBC upfronts, which would make her doubtful for Raw in London. Now, I want to talk about Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey for a second. Why on earth is Ronda Rousey getting a women's title match? Explain to me how that works. She has one match at WrestleMania 34 with Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon, breaking McMahon's arm, wins the match, and then in a few months' time, she gets a Raw women's title match with Nia Jax. And people all over Twitter are saying, this is awesome. What a way to start off Raw. It could be the match of the year. I've seen better matches before. Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax is not one of them. It will not be one of them. Ronda Rousey may have had a spectacular debut at WrestleMania, but this is just too pathetic. WWE just threw it in there like, yeah, let's just have Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax at Money in the Bank. Not worth it. In addition to Keith Lee, Casey Michael of Squared Circle Sirens says WWE's next Performance Center class will likely include Impact and AAA's Gaza Jr., rugby players Daniel Vidat and Luke Menzies, and possibly ICW's Joe Coffey. Although the Scottish indie star may skip Orlando and work for the UK brand. And yes, the UK has been all over 205 Live this week. It's believed the injury suffered by Jay Lethal at Ring of Honor's show in Toronto was a concussion. Wrestling Observer reports he had memory issues, which led to Ring of Honor keeping him out of Saturday's event in Michigan. So yeah, it could be saying that Jay Lethal could be finished with the wrestling industry. WWE is expected to do a ton of publicity related to Ronda Rousey and everything she does on the UK tour. So expect plenty of videos and a huge social media push. Ronda Rousey's been getting everything right now. Some folks at the arena noted that Jeff Hardy to suffer some sort of injury before SmackDown Live this week in a dark match. We don't know what the story was. The story is with Jeff Hardy. He could relinquish the United States Championship. We don't know where this is going to. We don't know where this is going to go. James McKenna notes that when Emelina didn't work out, Vince McMahon insisted Mandy Rose would be a perfect fit for the character. Based on television, it looks like that's basically the direct decision that they're going with. Now, with Emelina, it didn't work. Emelina just had a waste of a gimmick. But with Mandy Rose, this actually works. PW Insider notes WWE and Hulk Hogan have continued to have discussions about a return. Said return does not appear to be imminent. Though, yeah, with still word going around about Hulk Hogan returning to the WWE, but again, we don't know where this is going to go. We don't know where Hulk Hogan's going. Per Squared Circle Siren, WWE has signed Stacey Irving Jr., a gymnast who is also Simone Biles' boyfriend. Good on ya. All right, so that's the last rumor. And speaking of Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, I want to talk about the SmackDown Women's Championship as well. The Melibration. Why have Paige come out and say Asuka is your next challenger? Now, I just don't get where WWE is going with these women. Now, I get that they're going to do everything in their power to have Saudi Arabia allow these women to wrestle. Now, I completely agree with that. But what I don't agree with, at this time of year, with Money in the Bank around the corner, you have Nia Jax issuing a challenge to Ronda Rousey when she only had one match. She only had one match in WWE, and she's getting a women's championship match. You have Sasha Banks. You have Bayley. You have Ruby Riott. You have, Liv Morgan. You have Ember Moon. And instead you have Ronda Rousey, who just had one match on Raw. One match with the company, nonetheless. Now, I don't know what WWE is doing with these women. And the same will be said about the SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka has only had a couple of matches on SmackDown. She did appear a few times. She has a couple of matches. She only lost one, which is still a bit of bull crap, if you ask me. Jesus. Yeah, it's still a bit garbage to me how Paige just gives Asuka the right to challenge Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, I don't know where WWE is going to go with these two Women's Championship matches. All right, then. On to Raw. It started off with Roman Reigns. What else do you expect? What else do you expect from Raw? Roman Reigns comes out, bitches, complains about God knows what. And yeah, it just talks about how he was cheated out of a qualifying match with Jinder Mahal. And then he goes to the back and then bashes up Jinder Mahal. Do we even care? No. The Intercontinental Championship match. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. This was another open challenge that Seth Rollins just issued out. And this was, again, another great Seth Rollins match. And I said on YouTube that Seth Rollins is Raw. I said that Seth Rollins is Raw because, Jesus, he's the only highlight on Raw right now, other than Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre, Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin, all these other guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, everyone. But still, yeah, nah. This was a great match. I give it 4. It was great. Another Money in the Bank qualifying match. And again, it was a triple threat match. Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin, and No Way Jose. I'm glad that No Way Jose doesn't have Titus World slide with him. That's a change. But still, get rid of the conga line. My thoughts on this match was pretty bare bones. Like, I had nothing going into this match. It was just another triple threat match. It was another qualifying match. It was just Bobby Roode getting thrown in there for no reason when he had a feud with Elias for the last few weeks. Why would you throw Bobby Roode, the glorious one, into a triple threat match without Elias in there? You know, like you could have Bobby Lashley in there. You could have put, well, Jinder Mahal was planned for another qualifying match. But still, you would have thrown Bobby Lashley in there. Still, I would have been all right with it. You know, you should have had Bobby Lashley versus Baron Corbin versus No Way Jose. You know, like, that would make even more perfect sense. But still, bare bones. I give it a 2.5. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas versus Breezango. Get off my TV. Breezango. This team is a joke. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are being treated as a joke. Now, going into this match, low expectations. Low expectations on Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. And Breezango. Like, just going into it, I just skipped it. I just skipped it. Didn't really care about the match. Though, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas win. They're going as the B team. And go figure, Michael Cole goes ahead and says, this was a big upset and all this stuff. Is this even a big upset, Michael? Is this even a big upset? No. It's just Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas taking out two jobbers who should be tag team champions and not going as fashion cops. Tyler Breeze deserves everything that's coming to him, not fashion files. Jesus. This team sucks. Break Breezango up. 1 star I give this match. Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad. Natalya is just wasted. She was wasted. Sasha Banks still boring me to death. I don't even know why. As a matter of fact, there is one reason only. She's babyface. Turn her heel. Ember Moon still good as ever. Though I still have this scared feeling in me that WWE could job her out. You know, like how they're doing with the Iconics. Like how they did with Dana Brooke. Though still, this match was terrible. I give it a 1.5. At least it was better than the B team versus Breezango. Matt Hardy versus the Revival. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the Deleter of Worlds versus the Revival. Now, again, this match was... I had low expectations going into this. If the Revival wasn't being used as jobbers, then this match would have been another great tag team match. But still, I like the Deleter of Worlds. I like the Revival, but WWE is basically killing the Revival. How in the hell can you mess this up? How in the hell can you mess up the Revival? How? I mean, I might as well not go through the rest of the show. Because WWE just proved that they didn't care about the Revival. They don't even care about the rest of their stuff. They don't care about the rest of their stars. Though the Leader of Worlds win, I give this a 2. Sami Zayn cut a promo and says that he's going to be exposing Bobby Lashley on next week's Raw. And for one of the last few matches, they were actually chanting Bobby's sisters. Now, I have nothing against this chant. This chant was funny. But still, I considered it. It was funny, yes, but still, it was pretty nonsensical. A women's qualifying match: Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James versus Bayley. Now, again, low expectations, but I do like Alexa Bliss. But with her going up against Mickie James was pretty questionable. You have, Jesus, like I said, Dana Brooke. You could have used her in there. No one basically gives a crap about her. But again, low expectations. 1.5, but Alexa Bliss wins. I like that. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Jesus, I keep forgetting that these are tag team matches. Versus Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. Now, again, this is pretty questionable. Why put Finn Balor and Braun Strowman into a team? Again, it does make a good team, but still, it's pretty questionable at the same time. Like, there are so many good teams in the WWE right now. You know, you have the Bar, you have the Leader of Worlds, you have the Ascension should be good, but instead of being killed, who else? You have, I don't know, bring someone in from No Way Jose's Conga line and make a team out of them. I don't know. Raw doesn't have any good teams, but Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are looking like a really good team. They are looking top notch. They said they wanted to be the show. They are the show. Aside from Seth Rollins. Though, yeah, this match was good. I give this match a 3 as well. The main event: Kevin Owens versus Elias versus Bobby Lashley. Oh, yeah, and I also forgot to mention this. With Roman Reigns bashing up Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal just walks around injured, and then Roman Reigns spears him through a quote-unquote wall. You can't fool us, WWE. It was basically cardboard. You put up some cardboard to make it more realistic for the kids, you know? You have Jinder Mahal walking around injured, and then have Roman Reigns spear Jinder Mahal through cardboard. There's some more terrible things to get speared through, you know? You speared through a car door, a regular door, a spear through the glass, but speared through cardboard. That's just weak. So yeah, with this qualifying match, I did kind of enjoy it. Mostly because of Elias and Kevin Owens. They're both great. Lashley, still a bit questionable on. Not sure how WWE is going to be using Bobby Lashley. But yeah, I did enjoy how Kevin Owens won this match. Finally giving Kevin Owens something. Though, speaking of Money in the Bank, I don't know where WWE is going to be going with the men's ladder match and the women's ladder match. I'm not sure where they're going to be going with this dual-branded ladder matches. You know, remember back in the day where you would have Raw ladder matches, you would have SmackDown SmackDown ladder matches. You know what? Why not just go back to those roots? You know? Like, this is a big 5 pay-per-view. Give one of these brands the chance of becoming a representative for your ladder match. For that brand's ladder match. And speaking of chances, Do you know how many times they said opportunities on Raw and SmackDown? Probably 40 combined. 40 times combined. I don't know how many times you would say opportunity on one show. 3 hours nonetheless. And 2. Jesus. I mean, it's fine to say opportunity once or twice, but still, it's getting so annoying. All right, that's it for Raw. On to SmackDown. And before I get into this show, before I get into SmackDown, I have just one complaint. Get Byron Saxton out of commentary. That guy is so annoying it shouldn't even be on the commentary table. Why not bring in someone like Mauro Ranallo? Or maybe bring back JBL or maybe Bruce Pritchard. You know, the guy who's doing the podcast on the WWE Network. Something else to wrestle with? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the title's name, but get Byron Saxton out of commentary. Okay, on to SmackDown. Big Cass interrupted Daniel Bryan's interview and they brawled. And again, it was David and Goliath, like they did with Backlash. So they're not done with this feud just yet. I was more expecting, like one of the rumors said, that Big Cass was going for AJ Styles. So they can do the Big Cass push that they've been planning to do for quite some time. But no, continue the David and Goliath feud. But still, this was pretty interesting. Instead of going for his yes lock, Daniel Bryan went for Big Cass's knee. Went for a one of the submission holds on the knee and just takes him out like that, making him tap out again. This was really good. All right. The Money in the Bank qualifying match. The New Day versus The Bar. Now, this match was all right. It was all right. But still, with this idea of having a team win and let one of your prospective members come into the match, like, I don't really get that. Like, why couldn't they just have a fatal 5-way match, you know? Bring in some more animosity for the two teams. You know, some for the Bar, some for the New Day, all that other stuff. But still, I did enjoy it. The New Day win. I guess this is pretty much leading to the Big Cass push that I talked about in my rumor mill. Though still, time will tell. Andrade Cien Almas versus some local talent in the UK. Now, first of all, can I just say this? I am glad to watch Andrade Cien Almas on SmackDown. I've enjoyed him on NXT, but now is the time for an Andrade Cien Almas run on SmackDown. I absolutely enjoy and love this decision. Though still, again, I have this scared feeling in me that WWE could job him out. You know, like they did with Mike Bennett. They did with the Ascension, the Revival, Zack Ryder, all these other guys. I have this scared feeling in me that Andrade could get jobbed out. Though he was good, I loved him. He gets 4 stars alone. Carmella's Royal Celebration. Do we care? No. Carmella is looking terrible as a champion. She is absolutely an embarrassment of a champion. And I'm the first on this podcast to admit that. Now, I had nothing against Carmella winning the women's championship, but still, she could have done it at WrestleMania, you know? Like, when she was, you know, there was a Charlotte and Asuka match, and just do the Seth Rollins thing. Just run in and cash it in. Though, still, it was lackluster. But Paige interrupts the Royal Celebration and says Carmella and Asuka versus, Carmella and Asuka for the women's championship at Money in the Bank. Now, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Why throw these women matches out like that? Why throw these women's matches like that? Rousey and Jax just thrown into the window like that. And the same will be said about Carmella and Asuka, thrown into the window like that. If Asuka does not beat Carmella at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, then it might as well just do what Don did a couple of weeks ago, reviewing some MMA. Or he'll just review 205 Live and NXT. Get out of here, man. All right. The third match. It was another qualifying match for the women's ladder match. Becky Lynch, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. But before this match was even a thing, Mandy Rose and Deville came up to Paige, and Rose bitched on about how she beat Becky Lynch. She's going to be in the ladder match, even though it wasn't even a qualifying match. And Paige makes a match with Becky Lynch, Mandy Rose, and Deville, and the two thought it was a handicap match, and Paige just said it was a triple threat. Though still, the triple threat match, it was enjoyable. Mandy Rose and Deville really hit it on each other in the beginning of the match, just brings it to each other. Though still, it's every woman for herself. I do like where WWE went with that. Becky Lynch wins. She's in the women's ladder match. Now, I'm hoping they do something with Becky Lynch. They have to do something with her. Because I am tired of seeing Becky Lynch with nothing. I'm tired of watching her with nothing. She only had one opportunity for the SmackDown Women's Champion. She had one run as SmackDown Women's Champion, and then nothing else happened. This is her time. This is her time. This is Alexa Bliss. Sorry, not. Well, it should be Alexa Bliss's time as well, but this is Becky Lynch's time for another run with the Women's Championship. This is her moment. I want her to be SmackDown Women's Champion. After that, 2 more qualifying matches were announced. Samoa Joe and Big Cass versus Big Cass and Billie Kay versus Lana. I'm really excited for Joe and Cass, but a little bit low on Billie Kay and Lana. I'm hoping Billie wins. She deserved it. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the 4th time. I'm not going to say I don't care about this match. This match was good. It was good. I did enjoy the back and forth action they had with each other, and how Shinsuke Nakamura just faked a low blow, how he occasionally punches AJ Styles underneath the bell. I love Nakamura as a heel. If he does win the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank, then make it a perfect run as WWE Championship. Nakamura wins this match, and this match was for a stipulation of the winner's choice. Nakamura did not say what match he wants. So again, this could lead to a last man standing match that I've mentioned in the rumor mill just a couple of moments ago. Or this could be a ladder match. But if it's not one of the two, I don't know what they'll do. Though SmackDown, I liked it more than Raw. And you know what? I actually watched Camp WWE the other night, and I enjoyed it more than Raw. I did. And that's the scariest thing to admit, because I don't like Camp WWE. And I don't like Raw either. But Camp WWE has a few laughs here and there, even though the cartoon sucks. I still get something out of it more than I get something out of Raw. 205 Live. This is the very first time that we're going to be reviewing 205 Live on the show. And again, it was great. I love what Triple H is doing with the cruiserweights, along with Drake Maverick. But with this one, with this edition of 205 Live, with 205 Live members and WWE United Kingdom superstars joining forces for this one show. It may have been 2 matches, but still, it was an enjoyable show. Keeping it independent. I like it. Make it a bit more like the indie scene. Drake Maverick announced that they will announce the 2 matches. It's a Fatal 4-Way match and a 6-man tag team match. In the Fatal 4-Way match, it was TJ Perkins, Kalisto from 205 Live, and from the UK division, Tyler Bate, who was also from NXT, and a Scottish wrestler named Kenny Williams. I gotta keep my eye on that kid, along with a couple others who I will mention. Though I enjoyed the Fatal 4-Way. Perkins had a lot of big moments when he had all the 3 men in the submission simultaneously. And was at the bottom of the Tower of Doom, where superstars were going for a superplex off the top rope. Someone else was going to help him out. And then someone else just goes for a power bomb and all that stuff. That. I absolutely love this Fatal 4-Way match. Though with Tyler Bates, this kid was good, along with Kenny Williams. You can watch Tyler Bate on NXT. Tyler Bate wins. He hits his finishing move on I think it was TJ Perkins, or was it Kenny Williams? Either one of them. But anyways, I did enjoy this match. A promo was cut out for Buddy Murphy. Now there was lots and lots of word going around with Buddy Murphy and the Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander. Before the Greatest Royal Rumble, he didn't make the cut. He didn't have the weight to compete in the Cruiserweight Championship match. Though, for 2 weeks' time, he has his championship match against Cedric Alexander. And you know the one thing that I hate from the Cruiserweights is that, how last year Cedric Alexander and Enzo Amore was planned for the Royal Rumble? This is what I hate. They just delay it on the spot. I absolutely don't like that. But the main event was the best part of the show. Oh yeah, and along with another match was announced for next week's 205 Live. Akira Tozawa and Hideo Itami battle from Japan. Now that's worth reviewing. Okay, on to the main event. Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Flash Morgan Webster versus Drew Gulak, James Drake, and Joseph Connors. 3 other guys who you should keep your eyes on for the majority of the United Kingdom's tournament. And speaking of the UK tournament, a couple of superstars were announced for the UK tournament. I'll get to that soon. But with the main event, it was another great match. 2 matches, both of them were great, but I enjoyed the main event more than I did the Fatal 4-Way. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Now, I love them both. They had their spots in the ring, and they were all great. Now, Flash Morgan Webster. I want to know more about Flash Morgan Webster, along with James Drake and Joseph Connors. If they do appear in this UK tournament, I want to know more about these guys. I do. Those 3 were great in this match. And, with the Fatal 4-Way match, I give that a 4. This match, also a 4. All right. That's it for 205 Live now. I'm going to be going over not only the participants who were announced for the UK tournament, but also a special announcement. I've been actually planning on what I wanted to do for my special announcement, and I have two. One is wrestling related, and one is mixed martial arts related. All right then. Let me see if I can get the WWE app up. It just crashes on me every time. For the UK Championship tournaments participants, one of them, actually two of them are Scottish. Kenny Williams and another one, I think, I don't know, can't remember his name, but both of them are Scottish, and I absolutely cannot wait to see them. I absolutely enjoy Drew McIntyre. I wouldn't mind seeing more Scottish wrestlers with WWE. And oddly enough, from 205 Live, Gentleman Jack Gallagher is part of the UK tournament. Now, I enjoyed Gentleman Jack Gallagher. That guy is incredible. I've watched him since the Cruiserweight Classic, and that kid is incredible. With this UK Championship tournament coming up, I'm absolutely hoping he does a really, really good job on the UK Championship tournaments. There's a bunch of other UK superstars who joined this tournament. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Here we go. Okay, from Scotland, Joe Coffey and Kenny Williams representing Scotland. All right. Now, like I said about Kenny Williams, I enjoy him, but Joe Coffey, I am really, really looking forward to seeing him. From England, Joseph Connors, El Ligero. Like I said, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, Zach Gibson, and Dave Matzif from Dudley, England, and Amir Jordan from Pakistan. Those are the 8 superstars who will be representing this UK tournament, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to the UK tournament. I watched last year's tournament; it was great with Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne with the main events as the finals of the UK tournament. I'm hoping this year will be better. Now, on to my special announcement. I'll be going through my wrestling special announcement first. I'll be reviewing Lucha Underground next month, June, all the way to whenever it's going to finish. Though, I actually remember watching Lucha Underground back then. It was great. I absolutely enjoyed it. With Rey Mysterio, PJ Black, Johnny Mundo, Pentagon Jr., all these other guys. I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed Lucha Underground. Though I'm really, really looking forward. Now that we're doing this podcast, I'm really looking forward to reviewing some Lucha Underground. This is season 4 of Lucha Underground, and again, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to reviewing some shows with PJ Black, Johnny Mundo, and all these other guys. All right, on to my MMA announcement. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be reviewing UFC 225 with CM Punk being in the show. Now, with CM Punk as an MMA fighter, it's pretty questionable, but it's an understandable decision. Let me see if I can bring up the fight card for UFC 225. Here we go. All right, so for UFC 225, Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Colby Covington. Sorry. Alistair Overeem versus Curtis Blades. I'm sorry, I don't know my MMA. If Don was here, he'd be going over this card. Andre Alvaski versus Tai Tuivasa. And CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. Now, I'm really looking forward to this match. I'm really looking forward to the show as well. In 2 weeks' time, again, I will be reviewing UFC 225. This is an MMA and a WWE podcast in 2 weeks' time. I am super, super excited on reviewing these two shows. Especially with CM Punk and Mike Jackson. Because I'm really looking forward on reviewing CM Punk's second UFC match. Because this first one with Mickey Gall, it wasn't overall that good, but it was a quick performance. But for CM Punk's first match, he did all right. I wish he did better. But hopefully with Mike Jackson in the mix, he'll do better. I'm hoping he will do better. All right. I think that will do for the podcast this week. Thank you all for listening. Again, I will be reviewing Lucha Underground next month. I will be reviewing UFC 225 Whitaker versus Romero 2 in 2 weeks' time. Again, I'll be going through some Raw, SmackDown, and 205 Live next week. And, you know, I'm really, really wishing we could do NXT. Since, you know, I'm a huge NXT fan, but, you know, we can't do it. But again, thank you all for listening to 2Sweet Podcast. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you next week, and I hope you guys enjoyed your Mother's Day this past Sunday. 2Sweet. Good night, folks.